for that beautiful introduction. I'm Corinne Freeman, and I'm proud to say that I am number 22 of the DC41. I wouldn't change that for anything. I really would like to just thank Aaliyah and the rest of DC Vote for giving me the opportunity to even intern with them. This has been a very interesting experience. This is a side, this is a side of politics that I never had seen before. But all that aside, thank you for allowing me to even plan this event. It's about getting the youth involved in this process, because without us, without college students, without the youth, how can we get this started? Civil rights, it's been in our history that students have led these movements and have made momentous things happen, and without the help from you guys, it's impossible. But I stand before you to introduce a man who I have so much respect for, and that I am thankful for his leadership. Number 3 of the DC41, our very own mayor.
Well, first of all, thank you, Corinne, for a very nice introduction. I appreciate your introduction, but I appreciate even more so your willingness to stand up for the rights of the people of the District of Columbia. I want to thank DC Vote for having been in the vineyards now for a very long time. There undoubtedly are many days when there's just been enormous frustration with our inability to move the ball. Can you hear me now? With our inability to effectively move the ball down the field. You know, and I think Monday was just a seminal moment. We came out here to march. There are people who kind of cynically asked me if this was all a big show and was this all orchestrated and planned. Well, the answer is no. I came out here to march with the group in front of the Hart Senate Office building, and after we marched and held our signs up, there were comments made by lots of people, including me, and I found myself just standing at the edge of the curb at that point. And it was at that moment that I decided just simply to step in the street, and I turned to a couple of council members and say, hey, how about let's go out in the street. And we went out there and we stood for a few minutes, and then we just simply sat down. Because the time had come to make the statement that it is time to free the District of Columbia from the bondage that we experienced. This is Emancipation Day in the District of Columbia, and it is time for us to be emancipated from the shackles of bondage that we experience every day in this city. You know, one of the things that happened that is wonderful out of all of this is that not only is the nation paying attention, but the world is paying attention to this situation. A lot of us have been contacted by national media and frankly contacted by those from other nations to understand what's going on in the District of Columbia. There is no defensible rationale for what we experience in the District of Columbia. I ask people, why is it that we pay $3.6 billion to the federal government every year and don't enjoy the same rights and privileges that other people who live in the 50 states enjoy in this nation? People need to understand. There are people who think that we are fully supported by the federal government, when in fact we raise $5.5 billion in taxes from property taxes, sales taxes, income taxes in the District of Columbia to be able to support the services of this city. And frankly, the request is very simple. And that is, if it's my money, I want to be able to make the decisions about how my money is spent in the District of Columbia. So, you know, people have asked me, did I think that Monday was going to is that the change that we needed? And anybody that thinks that Monday is going to change some of these fundamental things that we experience really is very naive. Monday at best is a catalyst for actions. It's a call to action. It's a statement that says we are now re-energized, we are remotivated, we are recommitted to freeing the District of Columbia. So let's use Monday, let's use Emancipation Day to rekindle our efforts here in the District of Columbia to reach the point where we have legislative autonomy, where we can approve our own budget in the District of Columbia, where Mrs. Norton has a vote in the Congress, and frankly, let us not stop until the day that the 41 and the rest of us will have led to us to becoming number 51 in the national league.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for those strong words. And let me call on, we have a shadow delegation here in the District of Columbia, representative and 2 senators who have been very active with us. And our shadow representative was out with us on Monday and was also arrested. Number 37, Mike Panetta.
Yeah,
I again want to thank the mayor and the members of the council who got arrested for showing some real leadership on this issue. I was happy to step off the curb with you, sir, and be arrested as well. We showed the whole world what we face every day here in the District of Columbia. Let's also thank DC Vote for helping organize on Monday and for organizing today. Without your leadership, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Yes.
I want to keep my remarks quick. I just would like to remind everybody, when you see what's happening around the world, when you see what's happening in Tunisia, what happened in Egypt, what's happening in Libya, that can all be tied back to one event, to one young man who had a fruit stand in Tunisia, who was harassed by government regulators. That crackdown sparked a revolution in one country, which led to one in the next, which led to one in the next. I think what happened on Monday is our fruit truck. It's our fruit stand.
All right.
I think what happened on Monday is going to lead to the DC Spring. Yeah. Just trying that one out.
I like it.
So again, I thank the mayor, I thank the council member, and let's not forget the 33 other people who were arrested who weren't elected to anything, who were just regular DC citizens who stepped off that curb and had our back.
That's right.
I am forever grateful for that.
In addition to Mike Panetta, Shadow Senator Michael Brown has been to just about all of our lobby days and our protests and everything else we've done, and was a force. And I want to thank not just the people who stepped out on that day, but the 400 people who were on the sidewalk cheering on the DC41, because they really kept us on the street. They were vigorous with their support. Yes, there will be people who will engage in civil disobedience, but that's not the only role, right? There's a role for everybody in this movement, and those folks were real important. And Michael Brown showed some real leadership, not part of the 41, but who knows, maybe 42 or 45 or 51 at some point. Shadow Senator Michael Brown.
Both Michael Brown.
Thanks. I'm going to keep my remarks brief too. First of all, let me thank DC Vote, thank the mayor. He may be number 3 on the Capitol Hill arrest report, but he's number 1 in this city. So thanks for being our leader. Let me thank Corinne and tell you that you might not like being called number 22 now, but when you get to my age, you'll really appreciate it. Look, we got to go out there and make some noise. There are not a lot of us here today, but we got to let these people know. The mayor said it, and I can't say it any better. It's time to step off the curb, people. It's been 210 years. Today is not only Emancipation Day, but it is tax day. We don't pay the 51st highest taxes in America. We are #1. When it comes to collecting their money, they know who to come to. When it comes to giving us our rights, they forget about it. Thomas Jefferson said that government derives its legitimate power from the consent of the governed. I'm here to give notice that we are withdrawing our consent. No longer will we tolerate sending our sons and daughters overseas to spread democracy only to have them return to be treated like second-class citizens.
Yeah.
We have 39 Congressional Medal of Honor winners from the District of Columbia, and it's time that we stand up for them.
Yeah.
So let's make some noise. Let's give notice. We're done with this. It's time to free DC.
Yes.